Okay, so in this video tutorial we're going to look at the mathematical strand of patterns in algebra, and more specifically we're going to focus on simplifying algebraic fractions through factorisation. So I'm hoping that you have previously learnt that simplifying algebraic fractions is basically looking for a common factor of the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so essentially we're looking for a common factor that's on top of the fraction and on the bottom of the fraction, and then we simply cancel off. And sometimes you don't have to factorise to do that, but other times you do. Right? We're going to go through a few examples of how at the start it may seem that there are no common factors, but then once we do some factorisation, you'll be able to see that we can cancel some things off. So let's look at a few examples. Okay, you can see in our first example, right, that there's a 3 on the bottom, so the denominator is a 3, and there's no 3 on the top really by itself, but there is 3x take 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to factorise the top, and we're actually going to take 3 out as a common factor, and we end up with x take 2 all over 3. And now you can see that we can simply just cancel off the 3's, and we're left with x take 2. In our second example, you can see that in the top, or the numerator, x is actually a common factor. So we're going to take x out, and that leaves us with a plus b. On the bottom, y is our common factor, and that also leaves us with a plus b. Alright, so let me just rewrite that a little bit neater. So now we've essentially got a plus b on the top and the bottom. We can cancel them off, and that simply leaves us with x over y. In our last example, I'm going to take 3 out as a common factor at the top. That leaves me with x take y, and I'm going to take a 2 out as a common factor on the bottom. That leaves me with y take x. Now you can see that x take y is not the same as y take x. So rather than take a 2 out as a common factor, I'm going to rewrite this, and I'm going to take out a negative 2. Alright, that leaves me with 3 x take y, and if I take a negative 2 out, that leaves me with negative y plus x. I'm having a bit of trouble with my x's. Alright, and what you'll notice is that positive x take y is actually the same as negative y plus x. It's exactly the same. So I can rewrite this, and I can rewrite it as 3 outside of x take y all over negative 2 outside of x take y. You can see I can cancel them off, and that leaves me with an answer of 3 over minus 2. Here's another couple examples just to show you what you can do with factorisation. Now, if you look closely, you will notice that this here is the difference of 2 squares. And when we expand that, we actually end up with something that looks like this. X plus 1, x take 1, and this is all over x plus 1. You can see that we can cancel off the x plus 1's. So this simply leaves us with an answer of x take 1. In our second example, okay, we're going to have to use product and sum. We have a product of minus 15. We have a sum of minus 2. Therefore, I'm going to say minus 5 times 3 gives us minus 15, and minus 5 plus 3 gives us minus 2. Therefore, my numbers are minus 5 and plus 3. So I can rewrite this as x plus 3 over bracket x take 5, x plus 3. You can see that I can cancel off the x plus 3's, and that leaves me with 1 over x take 5 as my answer. Okay, I'd like you to have a go at some practice questions. They'll come up in a little bit. If you could pause the video, that would be fantastic. When you think you've got them correct, just head on to the last slide and we'll go through the answers. Okay, so as stated, here are the practice questions. Please feel free to pause the video and we'll go through the answers on the last slide. Okay, so let's see how you went. In our first example, I'm going to take out 5 as a common factor. That leaves me with x take 3 up the top. I'm then going to take 3 out as a common factor, and that leaves me with x take 3 down the bottom. You can see that I can cancel off the x take 3's. That just leaves me with 5 over 3. In our second example, you can see I've actually got the difference of 2 squares. So, difference of 2 squares. Alright, so when I rewrite this, I'm going to end up with x plus 4, x take 4 on top. You can see here that I've actually got the perfect square. And you could use FOIL for these or some product. That would still work, alright, but I'm using the different rules just because I know it's quicker. So that actually gives me x plus 2, oh, I've made a mistake here. Up the top, I don't have x plus 4, I've got x plus 2, x take 2, and down the bottom I've got x plus 2, bracket x plus 2. That was almost silly. And then now I can just cancel off an x plus 2 and an x plus 2. So that leaves me with x take 2 on the top and x plus 2 on the bottom.